The AOC C32G1 is one of the more reasonable 32 inches gaming monitors available right now with a cost of £280. That sounds perfect on paper, as do its bended design. An AMD FreeSync, however, cut moves in different regions prove an excessive amount. AOC C32G1 design and highlights. First off, the AOC conveys a 1920x1080 goal across its 32 inches slanting. That, to say the least, is a two-sided deal. Optimistically, the goal is fine for gaming and films. It conveys sufficient screen land for AAA titles and esports games in equivalent measure. Furthermore, according to a specialized perspective, the generally low 1920x1080 goal implies that a more extensive scope of illustrations cards will actually want to run requesting games at playable edge rates. That is particularly significant for AMD FreeSync, which tops on this monitor at 144 Hz, on the grounds that the higher the edge rate goes, the more advantage you'll escape AMD's innovation. Be that as it may, the full HD goal and 32 inches corner to corner really do imply that the AOC conveys an unfortunate thickness level of 69 ppi. While that is sufficiently high for gaming, the board isn't especially sharp or fresh. In addition to it makes it simple to detect pixels. More modest screens with comparative goals offer better degrees of thickness and, hence, are more keen. AOC's own G2790PX currently costs £260 and its 1080p goal and 27 inches corner to corner gives it a pixel thickness of 82 ppi. On the off chance that you need a 32 inches screen that has a higher goal and a more keen look, then, at that point, that is not too difficult to imagine as well. The BenQ EX3203R costs £469, however its 2560x1440 goal and 32 inches slanting give it a 94 ppi thickness level, discernibly crisper than the C32G1. Also, if you need to adhere to the AOC's spending plan, there are a lot of 32 inches screens, with 1440p presentations for around £300. Get past the goal issue and you'll track down a screen with strong gaming qualifications. AMD FreeSync deals with a scope of 40 to 144 Hz utilizing DisplayPort, and that implies you'll get spread smooth gaming no matter how you look at it. The higher the casing rate, the better, however, and the innovation just chips away at AMD illustrations cards. Assuming you have a NVIDIA GPU, you can utilize VSync at 144 Hz, however not FreeSync. The basic board utilizes 8-digit VA innovation. That equipment provides a decent shelter between the picture nature of IPS and the speed of TN, in spite of the fact that it will generally be pretty much as fast as the last equipment, so VA is great for standard gaming as opposed to esports. The AOC G2790PX has TN equipment. AOC claims a 1 ms reaction time for this screen, however the firm said the equivalent regarding its C27G1 screen, and that board displayed minor ghosting and especially quick minutes except if overdrive settings were utilized. That is the sort of thing I would have zero desire to see, particularly for esports. What's more, as expected with AOC's ongoing yield of gaming monitors, the C32G1 has a delicately bending design. The 1800R span minorly affects gaming submersion without twisting pictures, something that the pricier BenQ likewise offers. The bend isn't the G32G1's just piece of recognizable actual design. The monitor has restricted bezels on 3 sides of the screen, and the majority of the presentation is worked from matte dark plastic. The lower part of the screen, the back and the base are expanded with red accents, however they're not nosy. The AOC seems to be a gaming screen, however it isn't what we'd call gaudy. Around the back of the screen are 2 HDMI 1.4 associations and a solitary DisplayPort 1.2 info. There's likewise a D-sub association for more seasoned equipment, in addition to a headphone jack. AOC C32G1 OSD and arrangement. The AOC has a recognizable and simple arrangement schedule. The stand snaps into the rear of the board without the requirement for any screws, and the base joins with a solitary screw. The screen's assemble quality is good, with scarcely any given the plastic boards. The base is strong, as well, regardless of it being thin plastic legs. Unfortunately, however, the join among screen and stand isn't as great. This leaves the actual screen somewhat unstable when contrasted with the more modest AOC boards. That is nothing unexpected when AOC utilizes a similar stand design across every one of the 3 products. The AOC stand can turn from side to side and can shift advances or in reverse, and it's viable with 100mm VESA mounts. That is all there is to it for change. However, in contrast to AOC's more modest screens and the 32 in BenQ board, you can't modify the C32G1's level. Basically, the AOC just weighs just shy of 7 kilograms. This isn't terrible for a 32 inches screen. The BenQ weighed in at 8.1 kilograms. The C32G1 is overseen by the standard AOC on-screen show. It extends across the base portion of the screen and is explored by means of a line of buttons underneath the base bezel. It's reasonably coordinated, with the standard choices in their typical spots, yet its size is irritating, and it can't be moved around the screen by the same token. It's likewise quite sluggish contrasted with numerous other OSD frameworks. The processing plant dark degree of 0.04 nits is a decent beginning stage. It guarantees you'll get rich shades when the screen is managing more obscure variety. It adds to a difference level of 5,825 to 1, which is far superior than any opponent. It implies that you'll see great broadness of variety and an amazing profundity of tone on this screen. It's surprisingly better than the HDR-empowered BenQ, which finished out at a still magnificent 2,850 to 1. It's a disgrace, then, at that point, that the AOC's fabulous dark and differentiation levels are sabotaged by an unfortunate Splendor estimation of 233 nits. That is low for a gaming screen nowadays. The more modest AOC C27G1 hit 265 nits, which was as yet poor, and the BenQ EX3203R conveyed a stonking level of 399 nits. The AOC G2790PX hit 373 nits. The unfortunate Splendor has a common sense effect, as well. The backdrop illumination is unquestionably still sufficient for most rooms and more circumstances. However, you'll battle on the off chance that you're playing in an especially brilliant room. The screen might look somewhat cleaned out on the grounds that it doesn't have the solidarity to battle solid lighting. It additionally implies you get less adaptability for changing the Splendor to suit your preferences. Somewhere else, the C32G1 conveys great variety quality. Its production line temperature of 6,624 Kelvin is brilliant, and the delta E of 2.07 is great. The typical gamma of 2.26 is strong, as well, and the screen's sRGB inclusion level of 98.8% is totally fine. These outcomes are superior to the AOC C27G1. They're all in front of the BenQ, as well, and they exchange blows with the AOC G2790PX. The varieties are effectively sufficient for a wide range of games, and the differentiation and dark levels are perfect. Other gaming highlights function admirably. AMD FreeSync conveyed smooth, perfect gaming, and the C32G1's feedback slack figure of 12:2 ms is great to such an extent that the natural eye can't differentiate. The VA board has a smidgen of noticeable ghosting in the quickest games. Unquestionably, the quickest esports players will see this. However, it's an unsettled issue. They'll have TN boards on the off chance that they're significant about rivalry. Until the end of us, AOC's overdrive choices for all intents and purposes kill the ghosting. Finally, thanks for watching this video. See you again next time.